In a world where two friends decided to watch movies from their youth, then decided to start a podcast about it, we present to you the Movie Test of Time. A podcast about the only medium that matters, the movies. Presenting your hosts, America's sweetheart, Beth Martin, and Irish ruffian, Andy Young. Hello, that's us, your brawling and landed hosts. This week looking at Far and Away. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
So much to share. It's both of our sorry, I'm sorry. I'd say start over, but we don't do that.
No, we don't. You'll take what you get and you'll like it.
What is it? You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So you and I just hung out for a good week. So we just got back. So Mike and the kids and I all went to the UK and Ireland. Mm-hmm. I'm including Northern Ireland in the UK because I know that paradigm. I'm
sure some dickheads will actually you, but they can fucking actually enter the void.
Yeah, well, or just send me a message and I'll, anyway, so we did Belfast. We stayed at the same, what is it, St. Mary's Square? St. Catherine's Square?
Cathedral Square.
Cathedral Square. It's got it's got 3 names.
It does.
So,
I'm going to find it.
And Andy took us to, and everyone, we talk about this occasionally, but the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland is pretty epic. So we did that. We went to the Titanic Museum, which was a lot sadder than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I know everybody died.
Yeah. It's kind of heavy.
Not everybody died, but
it's an square.
Yeah, what is it? St. Anne's?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were both wrong. We went to Newgrange in Ireland, which is it's older. It's older than, I've tried to explain this before, and I did it badly, so I'm going to do an even worse job now that I've actually been there and seen it and gotten the tour and know more information. But basically, they don't know what it is or why it's there.
Newgrange?
Yeah.
No.
So it's so old. It's older than Stonehenge. It's older than the pyramids of Giza. And they're basically, they think that it had to do with winter solstice because of the way the light shines through. But it was really cool. We got to go actually inside this Neolithic ancient mound of, I'm unclear of what's underneath it, but it's gone through, I don't know, it was very cool. It was very cool. And so they choose 8 people a year to go inside for winter solstice, and you're able to then see the light shining through, kind of like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then you find the treasure.
Like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
And it's a Pokemon.
It is a Pokemon. It's a very rare one though, and as we know, Pokemon is the modern treasure. Yes. So they do kind of simulate it for you when you're in there. It's quite cool. I must say, I think, because we had chatted about it whenever we went to Stonehenge earlier on in the year, and I think I was much more and I had always had Newgrange on my list as something I wanted to do, but I had never got round to it. But I think visiting Stonehenge and kind of feeling the impact of that was it made it.
You know what I'll do? I'm gonna drive an hour and 20 minutes south from my house and go to this place, and you
can see this tomb.
It only took 47 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so interesting though. Do you not find it I know you're actually pretty good at seeing things locally to you, but I find for so many people, it's there's so much stuff on your doorstep that you never go to. I can't even because it doesn't occur to you.
You can't get through the Amazon boxes. So how are you going to get to Newgrange when you have to open the boxes and have your car break down in real life? Sorry, Andy's car broke down, guys.
It's just, more shit for the shit heap,
The shit heap.
That's my optimistic view of life, So we also did a little bit around Carrick. It was actually quite fun going to Carrick Castle with you guys because I have not. I've visited it over the years, and I am very nonplussed about that place now. It's like whatever to me. But like, especially through your kids' eyes who were loving it, and it's the giant chess set upstairs. We had a giant chess
It's the
game,
coolest castle. Like, if anybody goes to Ireland, go to Carrickfergus and go to the Carrickfergus Castle. Especially if you like visiting other places and like ancient things. It's so old. Like King Billy, the original king who built the Tower of London, right? This is King Billy. Is this no different King Billy?
No. All
right, I gotta go look at my history book. But really, wasn't it? That's the one.
No, that's. I think it's King John you're thinking of.
No.
With the one. No, so King Billy is nothing to do with that. He was like a Dutch prince, right? So
there was William the Conqueror. William first.
It's a different.
Well, it's either George, Charles, William.
Sure.
Right.
They're fairly interchangeable guys, like
and they're all Anyways, sorry, I totally interrupted you.
It's quite alright. But that's that's it, and it was a lovely trip. It was lovely to see all of you. Too short, but also lovely.
Kids got to meet Sasha.
They did. The dream dog herself.
I know. She was on point.
She's such a dream. She's such a dreamy sweetheart.
Her sweet tap dance.
She did her sweet tap dance.
Harper was out like raiding the plum tree.
She was. We have that plum tree is going nuts. We got 16 kilograms of plums off it over the past 2 or 3 days.
Lot. Are you gonna make plum pudding, plum pie?
No, I certainly am not going to do anything with them. I might use some of them to make a chutney, but like there are so many that even if I was really go ham on it, like I would use a tiny fraction of them. So instead,
and you don't want to, the more you eat, you're going to get diarrhea. Just don't do that to yourself.
Well, this is also very true. So like I think I'm going to. My mom's been taking them. She was going to give them to some of her friends. And I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to take like a box and just bring it down to the yoga studio. And if everybody wants to take some, they can. That's the thought that I've had. But yeah.
It was.
The other thing, so.
Yes.
Talking about Newgrange and ancient things.
Yes.
I think we also need to talk about another ancient thing.
Yes, we do.
A modern interpretation of an ancient thing. The Odyssey.
Yeah. I saw it.
So I saw it yesterday.
Good. Did you see it at IMAX or did you just do regular?
IMAX.
Was it worth it? I saw it in the regular theater with the kids. I was like, because we were killing time at Oxford, and I was like, what better place than to dive into the humanities with Matt Damon?
Yes.
And all of the cast. But everyone was like, no, they made it for the IMAX. So I'm gonna drag Charles, who's so into it, back to see it.
Nice, I love it. Like, because the whole thing was filmed in IMAX, I was kind of holding off because I was definitely going to see it, but I was holding off to see what the reviews were, and then everybody's like, it's excellent, and I was like, okay, it's IMAX time. But basically, I had checked because you guys left on Friday morning, and I had checked that morning for IMAX for the following week, and the screening that I was planning to go to. Once I had got home, done one of my dog walks, came back, I was like, I booked my tickets. That screening was sold out completely. Yes. So it's just mad. So I managed to get an afternoon slot. And because it was just booking for me, it was like, this is going to be relatively easy to find one seat.
You're in the front row.
So it worked out nicely.
Good.
No, actually, I got a pretty good spot.
Yeah, people are driving to other states and going to other countries to see. Because it's like, there's, the movie theaters were dying for a while, so, and they still are, or maybe not. But it was, so I don't know if you're reading, like the original reviews were like so overwhelmingly positive, but now you're getting the scholars that are, I wrote this dissertation and la la la, and people shouldn't see it because of this, and so a lot of people are like, it's not accurate enough. They didn't, involve the gods enough. It's not true to Homer because XYZ.
Yeah.
To which I say, if it's doing, we've talked about this before with AI being, the bane of everyone's existence, except for the people that are like, I love AI.
It's perfect.
I know, right? Fine, you can, but don't come, whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just like, we need the humanities more than ever. We need to know.
Yes.
Like, Homer probably never even wrote this, right? We don't even know who. It was probably a woman who wrote it, right?
Yeah, probably.
And I remember reading the poem or song, like, I don't know, decades ago. But it was really, I know that things that I was hoping would be, like, cooler, Christopher Nolan went a different direction, and he doesn't focus so much on the sirens. He focuses on Matt Damon screaming tied to a part of the boat while they're singing, and but the description, I don't know, it's like the choices he made, I was a little like, oh, and then I was like, but what he did was so interesting that I forgive.
100%. I think it's like, I'm listening to a podcast about it that's like dissecting it right now, and they're talking about what's interesting and what is not in the original text is that internal sort of thing. There's not much. It's all kind of external stuff in the original Odyssey, whereas this is talking about how Odysseus feels about the actions that he took and why these things have happened to him, which I think makes it so much more interesting, so much more compelling. But yeah, really great stuff. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I think structurally it's really fascinating, and I think that it's best to go in knowing as little about it as possible, but it's a wonderful movie.
And what I'm gathering is the people that really know it well are not enjoying the movie, and the people that don't know it well really are. To which I say, yes, I'm okay with that. But I think exposure to this story in particular is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yes, 100%.
That my 9-year-old son is like, I want to go again. And my daughter's, who normally wants to see everything and do everything, is like, not my jam. And he's like, I loved it. He was like, it's in my top 3 favorite movies ever. Including Minecraft and Super Mario.
Wow.
Right?
And rare company. Amazing. I think that's really interesting. What's to me is a great sign of that this is going to be a big deal is that my mum went to see it with my auntie. My auntie has not been in the cinema in 20, 30 years. It's been a lot. So it feels like it's going to be Titanic big, because I remember my grandmother going to see Titanic, and she just never went to the movies, so yeah, it's very interesting indeed.
And you can't, it's like taking on, Mel Gibson keeps trying to take on the Bible and the story of Jesus, and it's just you can't, at a certain point, you can't please everyone. You can only tell the story the way that you want.
What is that? Yeah, that's true. What's the one he's working on?
The Resurrection?
The Resurrection of the Christ. Yeah. Part 1.
We're going to line up in the queue for that.
Oh, Jesus.
Also...
Did you... No. Just before we move on from that subject, was... did you see, or are you familiar with Ulysses 31?
No.
Okay, so it is I believe a French animated TV show that was a big deal for me when I was a kid, and it was basically kind of like a space adventure, so it was kind of the story of Ulysses, but it was he was in space. It's cool as hell, and also really dark and moody and weird. The way that European animation can be and could be at the time, it's a very, very cool show.
Awesome. I'm writing it down.
But anyway. So yeah, Ulysses 31. Okay. Anyway, so you're going to move on. Do you have any more crack?
I went to Abbey Road. Charles is super into the Beatles, and we went to London. I also, so we went and saw Hadestown at the West End.
I've heard that's great.
It's so fucking good, and it's, I'm going to pronounce these words right. It's about Orpheus and Eurydice. Eurydice.
Eurydice.
Sorry, Top fan. I'll never get it right. Never. But it's also set in sort of like 1920s New Orleans, and the music is amazing. That it blew me away. It blew me away. It blew me away. And then the next day we went to the Globe Theater and we saw Midsummer Night's Dream, and that blew me. I cried. It was just like, even just sitting there, I just like sat down. I sent Andy pictures. It was so well done. It was so funny. You know, Harper knows nothing about Shakespeare. But I was like, it's like you'll get a sense of what they're saying even if you don't quite understand. Like, if the actors do their job, you don't really need to know everything and all the entendres and all that stuff. But it was so cool to see it in that theater. I know it burned down and got rebuilt and burned down and got rebuilt. I think it got rebuilt this last time in like 90. You would ask, it was like, I think it was 1997. So we would have been like in high school. So it was just fabulous. The acting was fabulous. Being in that space in all open air and like knowing that Hamnet was filmed there with the hands like all going together. And we all did that. So like there was certain points that they were like, Puck was like, okay, hands in. And we all had to like, he was instructing us like, so we all had a tone. And then we would all sing loud together. And then like something magical would happen on the stage. You know, things would like flap down and then like flowers would explode out everywhere, and I was just like, it was so fucking cool.
What was the question I was going to ask? How did Harper find it as an experience?
She loved it.
Good.
It was more. I can tell she's really enjoying something when she's just like, "You're my best friend in the whole world. You're my best friend in the whole world." So she loved it. I highly recommend it. There was so much audience participation. It added to the beauty of it, and you know, I would say Shakespeare still holds up. So, yeah.
Okay, that's a hot take.
I know, right?
Okay.
Give this guy Shakespeare a chance, everyone.
Yeah, you're gonna get some pushback on that, but fair enough. It's a bold choice. Okay. So should we move on to what's current?
Yes. I do. Okay, so I have an old hot take. We haven't recorded in a couple weeks because we've been fucking hanging out and doing our thing. Sometimes IRL. So top fan. Is that all right? I have done my own mini Nick Cage. Did I do? I feel like I read this already.
Good. Hit me with it again.
I've done my own mini Nick Cage season of The Rock, Gone in 60 Seconds, and Con Air.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind. No. Okay, no, I have so much more, but like, I gotta dig into it a little bit.
It's fine. We can get back to it next week. They can get enough. We've talked for a bit anyway, so we can maybe... Okay. So we maybe get into our movie. So it's the second week of our Nicole Kidman. It is.
Yes.
Of our Nicole Kidman season.
Yes.
And we're looking at Far and Away. Far and Away.
Was Far and Away a very...
it's interesting, right? I don't know that I would have ever revisited this movie. I remember like seeing it before and going, yeah, okay, that was fine. But like, you know, it wasn't something that I was like crying out.
It came out when we were in like high school, right? Okay.
Yeah. But like early high school,
or like middle school, yeah.
You know, because like 92. Yeah. So high school for me, middle school for you, and yeah, I mean like. I feel like I maybe saw it in the cinema, but I think this was a time when I've seen a lot of things in the cinema, so it was just like, well, what's on, rather than a choice of this is the thing I really want to see, you know. But yeah, it's like, you know, I do think there was some coming in, you know, tepid, not coming in hot, coming in tepid in this movie. I think that like, you know, it was. I saw the length of the movie. It's always a bummer to me when it's more than 2 hours. Unless it's the Odyssey.
Could be anything, good. Right? Not even that. You're just like, bummer.
Yeah. So I did have to break this movie up. But, you know, it was breezy enough. I think, you know, I do want to talk a little bit about Ron Howard and stuff like that, but we will get there.
Yes. The song, the Far and Away song, we can get into the music, but I played this song in band class.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
and so like it started like so I probably watched. I mean, it's been decades since I watched this. Honestly, it might like it would have been like Mike and I would have like just been dating, and I would have been like, "You were out of the country during the time this movie was made." But I remember my friend and I were like, we were obsessed with it. We were playing it in band. Yeah, that's basically what I. But so it was really nostalgic, like for me with the melody. And that brought back like it's like interesting. There's some people. Actually, I started watching the history of sound on the airplane.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
No, but I've heard it's
so
good.
Fucking good. But it's there are certain people. It's this movie. These two dudes. They're walking around the United States and they're recording people in like small villages and towns and getting all of these old original songs regional. It sounds boring, but it's actually really interesting. And Paul Mescal's in it.
Shit, yeah, and
Josh Connell.
We call Josh O'Connor.
Okay. Yeah.
Josh O'Connor. So like that's really interesting because I did not. I seen the trailer for that movie like a couple of times when I heard of cinema, and it was just mostly about their kind of relationship and nothing really about that aspect of it.
So and also I was watching like the plane edit, which like they didn't edit the fucking Bone Temple at all.
No, they kind of. Nobody can.
You can't. You may not. Gotta look at that wiener as many minutes as you can.
Yeah.
But so I watched that. But some people can hear a note, and I think like the movie Almost Famous by what's his name?
Yeah.
He can hear a song and it will bring back a memory. Right? And so
Yeah.
So I can't remember my point, but basically that's what it is. I heard the song and it brought back memories. But you can do that with like flavor too. There are people that will eat something and it will bring back,
It happens to me with some smells,
really?
Actually. Certain smells will actually transport me back to a place. Specifically, the one that specifically gets me is the smell of sun cream, like a coconutty kind of smell. Transports me back to the very first time we went to Florida and like getting off the plane. Yeah.
There's a Fish song about it. I think it's called Olfactory Hues. That's what it is. Yeah.
Nice. Like
so yeah, that's what it was good. It harkened back to an easier time, and also
100%.
harder because it was middle school. And I said, "Wow, is this an accurate portrayal of Irish culture and immigration, or what?"
So like I mean what do I know, but like it was I think. Because I want to talk a little bit this when I talk about Ron Howard. I'll get into it now. Because, like, I feel like he is, like, the epitome of, like, a kind of journeyman director. Like, he has no real style of his own, I don't think, in my opinion. Like, and, I do feel like he leans towards a more sort of glossy, crowd-pleasing type of thing, And, like, I think the broad strokes of what they're trying to do.
Do you consider him one of the greats?
No. I think he has a few good to great movies under his belt, but I think he has a lot of like crap under his belt. I think he pumps out shitloads of movies, and I think a lot of them are mediocre. To be honest with you, I do not think he deserves to be anywhere close to one of the greats.
I mean, he did win Best Director, Best Picture for A Beautiful Mind.
100%.
I'm looking at his catalog, but some of them I'm like, what is that? I don't even know what these are. Like producer, The Gringo Hunters, Barbara Walters, Tell Me Everything. Ugh.
Like, the guy works and he makes a career in Hollywood, and fair play to him, and I don't mean to be critical of him, but like I just feel like he leans towards this more sort of like crowd. I mean, and that makes money, crowd pleasing sort of like movies, and I think this is one. So it's a very kind of like, rose tinted glasses kind of view of what this was like. Do you know what I mean? And also, it's just like, you know, and as soon as, you know, Tom Cruise appears and like starts speaking his Irish accent, I'm just like, oh my god. And then like, you know, other actors who clearly aren't Irish, his brothers, at least one of his brothers,
they both are.
both. Yeah, and I was just like, oh
yeah.
no. So yeah.
So do you want to talk? Mm-hmm. Okay, so like part of. Okay, well, yeah. Let me give you a quick synopsis. Mm-hmm. Joseph, Tom Cruise, and his landlord's daughter Shannon, Nicole Kidman, travel from Ireland to America in hopes of claiming free land in Oklahoma. Sorry, I just made a face. The pair get sidetracked in Boston, where Joseph takes up boxing to support himself. When he loses a pivotal fight, the two are left penniless. Oh, and she gets her spoons taken. She like runs away. She doesn't have my spoons. And the kids have been running down and being like, I need a spoon. Where's my spoons? So now faced with poverty, the two must find new ways to scrape by. As their affection for each other grows, Joseph questions whether he is truly what Shannon needs in her life. And they also, yeah. So it's like, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to say quintessential, but like it's an immigrant story, you know, yes. During a time when, you know, new country being put together, and they would do I wrote, you know, it's like they were giving away like 160 something acres at that point. You would just like go to this one place on this one day and then like run as fast as you can to grab a flag, and then that was your land, even though other people lived there on that land and were migrating through it, you know, but whatever.
I have to say, like, that scene rocked. The scene where they were actually doing the land problem was
incredible. So good, wasn't it? I wrote that down too.
Yeah, but I could have done with like the Boston sequence. I could have done with that being like about 50% of that would have been enough as far as I'm concerned. And I understand it was, you know, them building up their relationship, but like there was a lot of other fucking nonsense that could have been
I know, and I could tell I was quoting it a little bit when we were hanging out, and I was like, he didn't watch that scene, or I definitely like left the room for that scene, or was doing something else.
Or I have to say,
like plunge and scrub. Tell me you like my hat, yes. But you're not wearing a hat. You know, like yeah. Just like or you knew and just couldn't even pander back to me.
No, I think that like I've got to say that this film didn't like super hold my interest.
Oh, really?
It was kind of it was kind of a struggle for me. It was fine, but like, you know, immediately, you know, you're kicking into it, and like I was aware that I was gonna have to deal with like some Irish accents, and like nobody can really do an Irish accent. It's
except for me. Impossible. Did you hear me not pronounce their names?
Oh yeah, that's
Joseph and Shannon. Sorry.
You do a perfect one. Yeah, I forgot about that. So like, like one of the things I wrote down was as soon as I saw Tom Cruise working on the farm, like I was like, no Irishman has ever looked like this. Like a good-looking Irishman is like Barry Keoghan. You know, he just doesn't look Irish at all. You know, I can like kind of buy Nicole Kidman because like she's got ginger hair, but like it's still not really. So like, you know, anyway, right, we'll get into more thoughts as we go on here. Right. Okay. So Ron Howard, let's get to what I was want to talk about. So he's back. We've had him on before for our very first movie Test of Time episode. He directed Willow. Another kind of movie that I like, but I'm also kind of like, I think if it wasn't for the fantasy elements of Willow, I would probably again never kind of revisit it. So like what I've written down here is one of our finest journeyman directors, and that feels like such a backhanded compliment. I do genuinely think he has some all-time classics, some really, like I think Apollo 13 is a great film, you know, things like that, and there's other ones that I think are good. But, like, I think that he just... Like, apparently he's a great guy for get a movie in time, on budget, and that is something that Hollywood fucking loves. So I think that is like his secret sauce, you know. And he has made movies that have made good money, that have had critical acclaim. So like he's gonna always work. You know, he's gonna always have movies.
Like I'm just looking at his IMDb. He's involved in pretty much everything, at least on some level. Maybe not as director, but like he's produced. Like he also like he's the voice of the narrator in Arrested Development. So I can't. It's like I can't. It's like he's got his finger on the pulse so well, and like he was in the studio at, where he played himself and played himself as a total asshole, which like I appreciated because like people know him and he's known as like one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, right? So like him being like, yeah, I'll show up and I'll just be like, fuck you, like, you know, to everyone. I was like, I just, you know, but I do. He's like he's like McDonald's, right? You know what you're gonna get, kind of, when you eat there.
Yeah. That's
a terrible analogy.
That's such a good. No, I like it. It's perfect. It's a perfect analogy for Ron Howard. And like, you know, I truly do think that's, you know, because like I think one of the pretty incredible things that McDonald's does is that no matter where you go in the world, you can get something and it's probably going to be exactly the same as you get anywhere else in the world, and that's hard to do. Like, I've even like had conversations with brewers where they've talked about like how much respect they have for like Budweiser and like Coors and things like that, because they're like it's such a consistent product across the world, and like that's very hard to do. And like, yes, it might not be the best thing in the whole wide world, but like it's consistency, and a lot of people like that. A lot of people like to know what they're getting, you know.
But flip side, it's like that's what makes Guinness so special.
Yes,
it's because you go to Ireland and you're like, oh, this tastes so different. You know, it's such a beautiful. It's just an art form watching them pour a Guinness for like 10 minutes, and you're like, I really am excited about it. Or they just take so long so that you're like really excited to get that beer.
Do they do that in America when you get a Guinness? Do they like no they don't give it time and then top it up? Okay,
no, there's a whole no time. Go.
Fucking heathens.
Gotta get that drink in you so they can get more drink in you.
Let's try and get a tip to drink. Okay. So,
anything else on Dear Ron?
No, that's, you know, enough. I just wanted to do a quick, you know, character assassination.
Okay, so let's talk about his grandfather and assassinate him too. So his grandfather actually participated in the land run of 1893, 99 years prior to the film's release. So that's basically like, I think Ron Howard was so enamored with that concept of what that would look like that he was like, I'm going to put it in a movie, which I think that's, you know, you're the artist, you get to do that. I think it's kind of cool. So that was the inspiration for why they put that plotline in the movie at all, was because I think 3 out of his 4 grandparents actually did that. I'm just going to read this verbatim. So pre-production research emphasized historical fidelity, with Howard traveling to Ireland in 1988. He went there to check it out.
Nice. Because it is filmed there.
No, that's what every director should do. That's the least he could have done. That's, you know. Anyways, to scout locations and immerse himself in the culture and social context of the late 19th century rural life. So he did helicopter surveys at the cliffs of Moher region. And that informed set design, period accurate depictions of like what a tenant farm arrangement looked like, which I didn't really know much about, where like you were renting the land and then you owed the landlord not just money, but like, you know, they could take anything that they wanted, it seems like. So yeah, frontier landscapes, immigration patterns, the Homestead Act, which I have to look into. So I guess like it took him 8 years to develop this. Andy's just shaking his head. So I guess that they wanted more, like, yeah, they were, part of it was script related, more romance, more class struggle. He didn't actually decide to become director of the film until 1990. Okay. After, and I'm going to push back a little bit because I forgot that he made fucking Backdraft. Oh, yeah. Which we need to add to our list. That is a good, sure. Like when you make Fire an actual character in a movie and it like plays well and it should have gotten an Oscar. Anyways. Yeah, they were trying, yeah, blah, 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 blah. He said the film was the couple's honeymoon project because I guess they had just gotten married. And so what you see was like generally like authentic love and all of that. And so, yeah, but the big, they had supporting roles. There were lots of Irish locals. They had dialect coaching. And they really worked hard on the dialect, but that was far and away, no pun intended, the biggest negative thing that I've read on Reddit is that all the Irish people are like, this is crap, and like their accents are horrible. I can't even like barely listen to it at all. Captions only, folks.
I've definitely come across worse for sure. Like, I mean, like it's pretty tough. I like because they are central characters. It's like it's brutal because you're having to hear all the time. You know, I like. Sometimes, you know, you kind of forget. You're like, you know, it's not so bad. And then they meet an actual Irish person. Like I've written down here, fuck yeah, Colmeany. Because when I saw Colmeany was there, I was like, yes. But like then Colmeany starts talking to them and you're like, oh, it's horrible. Their accent's terrible. This is a disaster. So yeah, it's, tough stuff.
Tough stuff.
I don't have quite as net. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what my opinion is at the end of this episode. Okay. Shall we talk a little bit about the music?
Yes.
Okay, so composer is, and I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to do this every time I mention him, is John Williams.
Is he like Sir John Williams?
I don't know if he is.
Can you be a knight if you're not British?
I believe not.
No.
But you can. Yes, I don't think so. No, I'm pretty certain that you have to be British. Honestly, I don't fucking know. Because, like, you know, knighthoods are a thing that happens, but I don't really know a ton of details. You
haven't gotten the knock on the door for that yet?
I haven't got the knock on the door, no. The king does not know who I am.
Yet.
So, you know, he's the GOAT. He does a pretty good job here, I think, with this soundtrack. You know, because we have done a few of his films already. I think doing a podcast like this, it's unavoidable that you're going to do many John Williams films. So I think, you know, what I think he does quite well is that in a lot of other composers' hands, this probably would have been quite twee and naff. Yes. But I think he does it really well. Mean? Naff means like cheesy, I guess, and just kind of like unsatisfying. So like, I think what he does well is that the start of the film, you know, when they're in Ireland, there are hints of Irish instruments and Irish kind of sounds, but it's not like hardcore. It's just kind of there. And then it kind of develops into a much more kind of like sweeping American kind of like sound as it goes on. And I think he kind of handles that quite subtly as it goes through. Like, he's the master, so of course he does. He did this film, or he did this soundtrack score, third time lucky, with an Irish group called the Chieftains, who were like a traditional Irish kind of group.
Even I know the Chieftains.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. And yeah, it's very, very good. I think it's, you know, it's like, just a John Williams soundtrack just lifts things so incredibly, even like the biggest nonsense.
Exactly. he can turn a movie around. And for me, like, yeah,
really
I do think had it been like anybody else, it would have felt very, very cheesy, and he did a really good job making it, you know, a full, like, you know, it's like a, I don't know, it's a ballad.
It is.
Okay. Some notes, just generally. I wrote, back when silver was worth something.
Well, is it not worth anything
Not really.
anymore?
We went out to dinner and I was like, you
no.
guys, these are real silver, this like a silver fork and silver knife. And I was kind of like, yeah, well, pennies don't exist in the States anymore. Did I tell you that? Like copper is, so we don't cent, 1 cent copper pennies. Anyways,
wonderful.
I know. I said Tom Cruise can fight. There's a lot of Tom Cruise fighting. I could have done with less of Tom Cruise fighting.
Do you think they backed into that? They were like, okay,
get his shirt off. We want
to get your shirt off as much as possible.
We're missing
here. What's the best way?
We're missing some screen points, and take off your shirt. And also I said also he is like OG Justin Bieber hair.
Oh yeah, he does. He does. He does. It's not a million miles away from no, it's not. Well, it's a wee bit broccoli. Is it the broccoli?
Yeah, it's broccoli hair right now. Yeah, so like dudes are getting perms, and also like, it's like dudes are getting permed hair. I've had a perm. Have you ever had a perm?
No, I keep saying I want to get a perm before I cut my hair.
Oh yeah,
and I probably
you can
will.
You should. It smells terrible though. It smells like the worst farts ever. So whatever chemical treatment they're doing, you're just gonna have to smell that.
I suppose the upside is that it would mask all my actual farts.
Yeah, so and you can just be like, it's my perm. To consider.
Yeah, it's my. I'm sorry, it's my perm. Geez, that's a good excuse for me to have a perm. There you go.
Get on it.
Okay.
I also wrote at one point he's like trying to like get his horse to go get his land, and he like punches the fucking horse in the face. And I wrote, punching horses isn't cool.
It's not cool.
It's not cool. Really not cool. It's not.
There was some very uncool animal behavior in the Odyssey as well. I was like, come on, guys. That's not it. No, there was not. There's some very uncool horse action, I must say. And this is of a time when there wasn't going to be any like, no animals were hurt. Making this production thing, it was not that time. No, at all.
Like Tom Cruise like punched the horse in the face, or his stunt.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, and he like used the line that he used before he like, "Don't make me fight ya" or whatever, and then he like that was like the line before he punched someone in the face, be it a human or horse. He used that line.
Yes.
Okay.
The nepotism in this film, ludicrous as always. Two of Ron Howard's brothers. In the movie.
Yes.
Disgusting.
I know. Okay. So one of the brother that they always say is like the unattractive Ron Howard brother. They always
is it Clint?
Clint. He was like the most adorable. He was like they were all child actors. You ever Google him as a kid? He was like the cutest kid ever.
Yes.
He was adorable. I don't know what happened.
He was in like a big show, wasn't he?
Like Lassie or Rin Tin Tin or something.
Or Gentle Ben or something like that. Yeah.
Someone tell us.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was also like, where are the native people? So the land run, and then I was like, okay, tell me more about the land run. Internet, not AI, actual Wikipedia. Thank you very much. So the land run began on noon, September 16th, 1893. Guess how many people participated?
Oh geez, okay. I'm going to say 500.
You're over 500 people?
Yep.
100,000.
Holy shit! Yeah. What?
So 100,000.
So the one he actually filmed.
So I mean, he didn't get that many extras. but the actual run itself was estimated at 100,000 people hoping to stake part of the 6 million acres, 40,000 homesteads on what had formerly been Cherokee grazing land. So it was their fourth and largest land run. So they did 4 of those.
I see.
It's nuts. Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you want to talk about favorite actors?
Yes. I think that, again, Colm Meaney.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always loving Colm Meaney. He's always great. He's just such a reliable presence. I love seeing him there. So it's always a thrill when I see him in a movie. But I think the other guy, I'm trying to remember.
Robert Prosky, her dad. Yep. He does. And then I forgot her parents come over to America to try and find her and save her, and I was like, oh yay, and he's swindling his way into getting his land that they like, and no one gives a shit. He's like, ride the horse around and make it look tired, and I don't know. I just love seeing him in everything all the time, and he does. He's got presence and humor.
What? He was another TV show guy. So I did find out, by the way, Clint Howard was Gentle Ben.
Was he? Good job. Yep. I was way off.
Yeah, I thought he was on a TV show, Prosky, that I was, but I couldn't. Yeah, I can't find it. Yes, no. So those 2 were probably my favorite, I must say. Yeah, I'm trying to think who else. I mean, I should say that I feel like the chemistry between Cruise and Kidman was good, as it should be. They did have an actual romance.
Yeah, so, it would be disappointing if you're they were married, but you couldn't tell.
It does happen sometimes.
Yeah, it does. So can we back up to Colm Meaney? I love him in all things except for Star Trek.
Whoa. Don't say something.
I don't know. Oh, God. Okay, I'm stepping in it. But there's this one episode, and I probably talked about it. And this is when I kind of broke up with, I think, Next Generation or Deep Space. Doesn't matter.
He was on both.
Okay. And he was the whole episode was him trying to build a conservatory on the ship. And all the drama. And I was just I can't do this. We don't even have... I can't.
Have you seen...
but I loved him in The Commitments. And everything else.
Yes, he's fantastic. Yes, I get it. I mean, it's just he was kind of such a thrill of that seeing an Irish guy on the spaceship.
Yeah, that's fair. You were a kid, that's fair. Representation. You're right.
Have you seen? There's a comic strip I went for many, many years. I think it's finished now. I just looked it up. Called Chief O'Brien at Work, and it's just about what Chief O'Brien's life must have been like, just standing at that transporter desk in the room by himself all the time. It's brilliant. It's so funny. Definitely worth checking out. Okay. The other thing I was going to mention was, do you know the TV show Father Ted?
No.
Okay. So it is a classic Irish sitcom about these 3 priests living on an island. Okay. And it's brilliant. That's
a joke in itself, right?
Exactly. Okay. But it's well worth checking out. It's just surreal and wonderful. I think you would really dig it. It was one of these things that has had a larger life, because it's probably one of the best sitcoms, certainly I'd say in Ireland, maybe UK and Ireland together. I would say it's right up there. It's brilliant. So
there's a lot of information about it.
Oh, it's huge! It's and there's only 3 seasons of it, but it's worth trying. I think you might dig it. I think you would dig this surreal nature of it. So they had a housekeeper called Mrs. Doyle, and she's in this movie, and it was whoa, what? So she's one of the prostitutes, just kind of sitting in the background, whenever they're living in that house together, and it was lovely to see her, but it really took me out of it. I was is that? It couldn't be. Oh, it is. So yeah, that was great. Beth, you're in for a treat if you check out Father Ted. I'd be interested to hear what you think. Oh, actually, that reminds me as well. Nirvana the band is. The show is on Hulu
good. Okay, give me a pen. Get me pen. Get my wee pen. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, Father Ted and Nirvana the band.
And Nirvana the band, the show. Okay, so do we have any more while Beth's doing this? Any more thoughts on this, or shall we start getting into our last few?
I have some things. I'm still.
You got some facts.
Yeah, maybe? I got facts. I'm okay. So we were talking about. Sorry, I just keep bumping the microphone. So to film that last scene of the land rush, 800 extras, 400 horses, 200 wagons, and the extras. Okay, I don't know if you guys do this stuff. I guess you kind of do. You just did it with King Billy. So there's a reenactment society. It's really cleverly named. They call themselves the Reenactors. Wow, I know. So they do this kind of stuff. They pretend to. Some of them do Civil War reenactments. Some of them do World War II. I've actually been to one. I didn't participate, but I wanted to see what a World War II reenactment looked like. Like like there's a big base up in Washington, and they kept blowing off giant cannons, and you'd be like, ah, because it was really like very fucking loud. So okay, in Ireland, this movie has become something of a cult classic comedy for some due to the notorious bad Irish accents. This is kind of terrible, and I'm sure this wouldn't happen. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to read it. Anyway, director Ron Howard wasn't happy with Nicole Kidman's facial reaction during the shooting of the scene where her character lifts the bowl covering Joseph's crotch without telling Kidman, and he asked Cruise to remove his underwear. Howard got the reaction he wanted, and that's what appears in the film.
Nice. Okay, so, wow.
Yeah.
It's a good reaction.
I know. At least she wasn't like disappointed. So three of Ron Howard's great grandparents actually rode in the Great Land Rush of 1983 as depicted. This I liked. The dress, so there's Shannon's like poor, and now she's walking by a building and she sees a dress in the window, and I was like, why does that dress look familiar? So it's the same dress worn by Clara Clayton in the last scene of Back to the Future Part 3. It's really pretty, though, so that's why I was like, I remembered it. So double dip there. Fungi the Dingle Dolphin. Do you know about Fungi?
No.
So it's Fungie. Is that how I would pronounce it?
G-I-E.
Well,
Probably? I'm not sure.
He received a special thanks in the end credits. Is not a captive or trained animal. He's a solitary common bottlenose dolphin that has lived in the Atlantic waters around the coast of Kerry, Ireland since about 1983. He frequently interacts with swimmers, boaters, and kayakers and has become a local celebrity tourist. He shuffled off his mortal coil, I think, in 2020. But I just love that they were like, and we love the dolphin. Put the dolphin in the special thanks.
There's a... there's the one I do know that's a bit similar to this. There was a seal that used to visit a fish shop in Wicklow in Ireland that would like get out of the water, go across the road, bark outside the door of the fish shop, and
where's my fish?
And then go back. Yeah, they rocked.
Have you heard about this? Is it the elephant seal? He's like Neil, I think. Hold on, I'm gonna look at my Mind Palace really quick. Yeah, Neil the seal. So he's Australian. You should Google him, actually. Like, put this on your list of things if you want to laugh. He shows up once a year. He knocks over, you know what a bollard is, or like a cone. They have all these metal bollards. He like hits them with his whole body and knocks them over. He falls asleep in the neighbor's yard. He eats your garbage. He lays in the road. They've got to reroute traffic. And then he hangs out. He has his little summer break, and then he goes away for the year. And I'm like, if I'm an animal, that's the shit I'm going to pull.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I will be in the special thanks for the Tasmanian Australian movies. Anyway, Yeah. That's what I have there.
Nice. Like it. So, shall we move on to our final few wee sections? Yes. Okay, so, first off, too legit to fit. Who the best outfits in the movie? I think I liked all Tom Cruise's hats.
Tell me you like my hat.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're not wearing a hat.
So, like, I think he's going to take it from me. Nicole Kidman had some good gear as well, but I think it's his dapper look whenever he was in the kind of the mid part of the movie was working for me.
Agreed.
Annie's Animal Acting Award for excellence in animal acting, like maybe the widest field that we've ever encountered in all our movie podcasting days. But I think it has to be the wild horse that Cruise's character gets at the end. What I've written down is he was some boy.
He was some boy.
He was.
He did what he was supposed to do.
He did.
He was fucking fast.
AF. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He did have it. I did like his hats. They were lovely.
They were really nice hats. Okay. So Beth, for Far and Away, would you revisit, remember, refuse, or redo?
I'm good to remember. I'm glad I did. Like, the kids liked it. I love the soundtrack. I know I have good memories of watching it as a kid, but I feel like if it had been done differently, and I don't know what that is yet, I'll think on it. But like something it's missing something, and I don't know what that special ingredient is. And if it had that extra ingredient, then it would have been worth. It would have held up better, I guess.
Yeah,
like for the story that it is, and the cast, and all of the effort and the music, like it should have held up better, I guess.
Yes, I think that's true. I think there's a lot of good component parts to it, but yeah, it just doesn't coalesce as nicely as it could have for me. I think, and like that's kind of ultimately where I was kind of written down remember/refuse, and like I don't know that I'll ever watch this again. I wouldn't have any desire to watch it again, but like we say, there was some good stuff in it, and there's some talented people who worked on it, so it is nice to see some of that. And like I do think genuinely that the land rush scene at the end is fantastic. Yeah. It's a really well shot scene. It's really
cool. They could have done the whole movie they could have skipped Boston entirely and like really focused on the land rush.
Just shorten Boston down a lot, and I think it would have been a much better film in my opinion. Like it would have just been leaner and more interesting. Yeah.
But all shirts off.
Hell yeah.
So I do have some Nicole Kidman facts because we're focused on her this month. Okay.
There's something else I need to bring up
please.
before we move on as well. Go. No, which is that we need to mention that when we recorded our episode last week, Dead Calm, Sam Neill had not passed away, and he passed away unfortunately before that episode was released. Yes. So thank you.
It was literally like the next day or something, and we were just
and we're like, oh no.
So we are not bad luck. No. We're not bad luck. He had a good run. He's and just watching like the outpour of all of the people that loved him, like may we all be so lucky to be so beloved and missed.
He seemed like a good dude, so that was a sad loss. Yeah. But yes, I thought we should mention that. Thank you. Sorry, yes. Beth, please go with some Nicole Kidman.
Okay, so she writes short stories in her free time and hopes to publish them one day.
Okay.
I know, she's just like us.
She is.
Everyone.
So relatable.
Hey world, she's just like us.
She is.
And when she says she writes short stories, she's probably just like the rest of us, and she thinks about it. And that's almost the same as doing it.
It's true.
So she's highly conscious of avoiding excessive sun exposure and is rarely seen in her downtime without a hat, sunglasses, and not wearing sunscreen. In fact, her best friend, Naomi Watts, is she Australian? Okay.
She is.
Has said that Nicole won't cross the street without a hat. She's scared of butterflies. I'm going to butcher this.
Mm-hmm.
This is an actual phobia called lepidopterophobia.
Okay.
She said that if she had not been an actress, she would have been a doctor. She did play one on TV. She was a brain surgeon in Days of Thunder, as you know. Mm-hmm. Although naturally left-handed, she taught herself how to write right-handed for her role in The Hours that came out in 2002, and she played the right-handed author when she played the right-handed author, Virginia Woolf. I think she might have got her Oscar for that.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool. So she found out about her first Academy Award nomination for Moulin Rouge, which you have, if you haven't seen it, you should, while shooting Dogville, which I don't remember. In Sweden, she was in the middle of shooting, and the scene, and one of the people on the crew, they held up a sign with the announcement that's like, you got nominated for an Oscar, which I thought was cool.
Nice, that rocks.
So, good job, Nicole. Yep.
Good job, Dave. All right. So, Beth, what has been bringing you joy this week?
Well, lots of things. So, Mike and I, well, let's see. We went on so something really cool happened. Andy knows this. Most of you probably know this. I'm obsessed with the band Pink Floyd. It's my favorite band of all time. We were staying in this kind of like newer, it's an old area, but like a lot of new buildings have sprung up in London. And Mike was like, he was like, I hate shopping, and like going to the mall is my least favorite thing ever. And he was like, I know. He's like, let's go to dinner. It's at the mall, but you have to trust me. And I was like, ugh, fine. And then like we walked to the mall, and he's like, look up. And I looked up, and I started crying because I was standing outside of the power station that was on the cover of Animals by Pink Floyd. So check it out. Take a peek.
Very cool.
Storm Thorgerson. Love you, dude. Thank you for all of your art. I don't know if you're alive anymore, but damn, can he make an album cover? So it's just like being right there in that spot, and him having the foresight to be like, this power station looks like something. And now it's surrounded by a mall, and I'm sure he would be very upset about it, but or he, or not. So that was cool. And then we had a few cocktails, and then I was like, hey, last time I was here by myself, I found a staircase and like walked down on the beach of the River Thames, and we couldn't find a staircase, but we found a wall, and we hopped over it and ran down the little hill, and ended up walking and like picked up a bunch of weird shit off the beach. There was so much down there, and with all the wars, and so I found some porcelains with like old like porcelain pieces, some bricks that I don't even know. I gotta like look up, see like what the company was. It was so fun. And then we had to like, they had these like chains along the wall. We had to climb the chain up the hill, and then like, we didn't get arrested, but it was really fun to be our silly selves and like go and like, abscond archaeological remains and or garbage.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What's bringing you? You're trying to move along. You have to talk about your joy.
Not at all. I know, sadly. So I think I've talked about this already, but I am going to talk about it again because I finished it and it was fantastic. But I finished Star City.
Ooh.
Which was the kind of like, I've talked about it, I think already, which is like the Russian kind of equivalent of For All Mankind. And I was so skeptical about this show at first, though, like, because just the idea of it, because I was just like, is this necessary? But it really is telling such an interesting story that is so removed from the kind of American story that it just, and it, it's all about, what it might be like to like kind of live in that really kind of oppressive Russian, society back then, and what it would be like to have a space program under those conditions. And it really explores it in some fascinating ways, and I really loved it. It's well worth a watch.
Good. I have one more, and that's, so Andy stayed over and we had sleepovers with the kids and board games when we were in Belfast, and we adopted 2 seagulls, Starfish, and what was the other one?
Oh jeez, I can't remember. It had a more
Starfinder. Who knows? Harper sure. And her Wings of Fire dragon names. So we were feeding them croissants, and but I felt bad because like it was so hot. And Andy was sleeping out by the door where the bastard seagulls were coming and waking him up in the morning. So that it brought me a little bit of joy knowing that like my Snow Whiting impacted you.
It was only one morning, in fairness, that it was like
breakfast.
The other morning was okay. Good. You know, so,
yeah. So we actually had a bastard seagull, and it was great.
We did indeed. Yep. We did. All right, Beth, can you tell everyone where they can find us?
You can find us at movietestofTime.com. You can find us on the socials. Please tell your friends that we exist. Yep. We are humans so far.
Yeah. We are. And we intend to remain human.
That's right. As long as possible.
As long as possible, yeah.
So find us, engage, love the comments, love the suggestions. Yep. So keep it coming. Thank you, everyone.
Please. Thank you. Okay. And in that case, we've reached the end of this week's episode. And as always, we'd like to say goodbye to our brawling and landed fans. Goodbye.
I love you. Bye.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.